Hi. Before we begin the show, there are a few things I want to say which involve the breaking of the fourth wall of the show. So if you're like a huge fan, just skip ahead to the start of the show all the way to
1 minute 34 seconds.
I mean, not that it matters because this podcast is not like some really popular loved show like How I Met Your Mother, where everyone is somehow emotionally involved and attached to the characters and the plot. And it's not like me saying anything would ever make you all like this show less than you all already do. But if you're all about that integrity and about fictional confinement of the TBH universe, then yeah, skip ahead. I'll wait for like 5 seconds. Okay, so when we started this, we answered a few questions about the show. One of them was about how long we would keep doing this. We said that we would keep doing this as long as one of us doesn't get a life. And a little around the 6th episode, Ritwik decided to go on a trip and eventually get a life. And that was supposed to be it, But here's the thing. I still don't have a life and I don't know how else to fill this gaping void in my life. So I'm just gonna keep doing this. I mean, I make this podcast because anything is better than crippling loneliness. Or, just this one episode, considering there really isn't any motivation to do these. But if you still choose to hear this and for some reason like it, then just let me know or just share it with like 2 other friends. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make me go viral instantaneously. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because maybe fame is what would finally make me happy. Or not, no pressure. Anyways, that was it. And now on to the fictionalized, super futuristic, underrated show. Welcome intelligent life forms and also humans. Recorded on the 22nd of October 2117, this is issue 7 of The Black Hole. A new show, unlike most, more dimensional and less delusional. Before we start, contrary to what you may believe, our streaming channel, And Chill, really just cares about the revenue and couldn't care less about any hard-hitting journalism that we do. As such, ads may play throughout this episode, and additionally, we would not be allowed to talk about any news stories if it reflects negatively on either the sponsors or their subsidiaries. Also, to the people live tweeting this podcast, avail an additional 10% discount on all TBH podcast merchandise by using the hashtag I am incapable of living in the moment. With that kind of positivity, let's head to the news from this week. In national news, conclusive research shows that one of the reasons He-Man did not work that well on Indian television was because of the tagline Master of the Universe, which wasn't Doctor of the Universe. Spine surgeons enjoyed their Diwali break this week as they now get back to work and get back to work. Taylor Swift's PR team, even after 100 years, still denies that her song Screw You Calvin Harris, You Asshole, I'm Better Than You, was about her breakup with a former Scottish DJ called Calvin Harris. Supreme Court to decide this week if insert thing here that is universally acknowledged to be horrible and inhumane is legal or not in a marriage between 2 adults. They are also trying to decide if it's illegal between 1 adult and 1 child. But also between between 1 child and 1 fetus. Also in a marriage between 2 fetuses. Now a message from our sponsor for people who have 16 lines of bio but their Instagram account is still private. Wow, you just told us everything from your birthday to your sun sign to what character from Friends you relate to your Aadhaar card number to the fact that you have a lust for wandering. What is it that you're really trying to hide from all of us at this point? Why is your account private? It makes no sense. Moving on to some political news from the country. A new political party promises no more potholes before election, achieves this post-election by letting the city flood. Citizens say that they never saw the pothole, plot hole. The government is again building a few more IITs to make up for the shortage of engineers turned book writers turned dance show judges turned confused political commentators. However, now it seems that politicians are confused whether they should invest in IITs, hospitals, infrastructure, investing in public health, sanitation, drought relief and public schools, or invest in building 2 new statues because that'll show the world where it's at, bro. And also confusion between whether to build sustainable functional bridges on platforms and improving the current state of local trains that cannot guarantee safety of life, or to build a bullet train, because India, superpower by 2030. Now on to some news from the entertainment sector. Filmfare Awards this year to include a few more names in the In Memoriam section, namely The Ozone Layer, Freedom of Speech and Expression, and A Safe Industry for Women. Annoyed by all the daily soap web series and after getting rejected by TVF and Woot, 3 20-year-olds take the bold step of producing content exclusively for, and wow, this is so unconventional, for television. Censor board members as well as MPs and MLAs are now being invited to production houses to supervise the writers' brainstorming sessions as well as provide suggestions on various scenes. Bollywood Godfather ripoff director, who is known for making movies about gangs and politics, wanting to explore even further creatively, takes a bold step by making a web series revolving around gangs and politics, but with nudity. Now a message from our sponsor for people on Instagram who love to travel. Guess who else loves to travel? Everybody, literally everybody. But most of us don't have the time because we have schools or jobs or colleges. But you're so unique because you love to travel. Because there are just two reasons why everyone isn't traveling all around. Prajakta, it's either because they aren't free or because they're currently saving up so that they can travel. In city news, terrorists try to quietly enter the city but get caught on the city's most efficient surveillance system. Some teenager's Snapchat story. There have been a lot of data leaks this month. Some listicle website posted that Facebook search history might get leaked too. 2 minutes in, the government was overthrown and the country declared total anarchy. Millions of Indians went ahead and boycotted Facebook by putting up statuses on Facebook. They also gave a bad review for Facebook on Facebook. On a completely unrelated note, Apple is confused why their application FaceTime is getting such a backlash on the iStore from its Indian users. Age of Empires 8 to be released this week and will feature a new game mode called the Indian Government. It caters to people who want to use all the money on building wonders and statues and none of it on actually making a civilization. In international news, the product review company called Things You Will Dig gave an award to the shovel, calling its invention groundbreaking. Now a message from a sponsor for ugly people who look at their reflection in windows of cars and comb their hand through their hair. Why? Like why? Listen, that's not gonna help or change anything for us ugly people. Like what do you think is gonna happen? You combing your hair is suddenly gonna be a deciding factor for everything in your life to change? No, just get some hobby or a musical instrument or study really hard like the rest of us. In the recent episode of the reality show about mismatched occupations, a scuba diver in a salon gets second place while a kleptomaniac in the bakery is what took the cake. Transcripts of Gillette's yearly marketing meetings were released this week. 2115. One more blade. 2116. More blades. 2117. Screw it, let's just add another blade. Additionally, a new ad was published this week. Government agencies are employing internet trolls, meme lords, and savage kings because that's what gets through and makes news instead of regulations, bills, and policies. Yeah. And to elaborate more on this, we have with us our guest political correspondent, Politic Roshan. Welcome to the show, Mr. Roshan. Hey, how's it going? First of all, I have to say that we sound really similar. It's almost too uncanny. Yeah, it's almost like it's too similar to be a coincidence. Yeah, plus you are one of the most well-mannered guests we have had here. Something tells me that there will be no overlapping in our sentences. Yup, I don't tend to speak over other people. But now let's get back to the crux of the issue. Why are government officials and politicians recruiting internet trolls and memes? Why do politicians do anything really? To win elections? Through memes. What else do you think it would be? I don't know, policies, programs, their stance on them, proposed legislative changes, vision for the country, fiscal planning, integrity. No. What? No. Do you know any of that for anyone you have ever voted for? No, not really. Plus, you don't directly vote for the Prime Minister or other important positions. So does any of that really matter to the public? No, it doesn't. So what does? What they see around, internet and otherwise. Who trolls better, whose speeches have the sickest burns, and whose rallies have the catchiest tagline, and who comes off better in media. And as hard as this might be, memes are both catchy and influencing, and they are easy to spread. It starts off with a joke, but it subconsciously changes the nation's perception. Yeah, like you can't think of a handful of politicians and look at their effectiveness as a leader without also thinking about the one nickname or that one personal trait that is used to make fun of them. Yeah, and when it comes to politics, criticism should always be encouraged. But as public, doesn't it make more sense to criticize policies, legislation, ideologies, or a person's ideas rather than their personal and physical traits? That would be as absurd and baseless and crazy as us judging someone's ability to excel at a job just on the basis of their gender. Yup. Plus, have you noticed that when it comes to a high majority of Indians, especially youngsters that have access to basic internet, their collective narratives, ideas, and thoughts are potentially influenced by probably like 11 huge Facebook meme pages of our country? Mr. Roshan, that's all it takes? 11 meme pages to have an influencing reach over millions of Indians? Yeah, just 11. Like, I can count it on my hand. 11. Think about it. These memes that get millions of likes and thousands of shares subconsciously impose ideas and opinions on people, and herd mentality meets the bandwagon effect. And this is dangerous. I mean, we have always known that media is powerful and influential, but for the first time, memes are one of the most consumed form of media, at least for one of the major demographies. And it's not just that. You know how sci-fi novels would hypothesize about government being controlled by technology? Yeah. Well, this isn't really different, is it? The internet, social media, digital images, algorithms, and bots have effectively shown how they are able to sway entire elections. And we don't know how much of this has interfered with our elections already, but it could be very soon. That's depressing. I remember how World War III used to be used as a joke in school to exaggerate like two kids fighting. Like, oh, it was so bad. It was almost like, oh shit, it seemed like World War III. Yeah. And now it's scary because it's not funny how we really could have a World War III because of two kids fighting, but over the internet. Yeah, and think about it. What will surprise you? Like World War III in the news, that might surprise you. Maybe 20, 30, 150, 150 years back. But does it really surprise you? Like, if it came in the news, would it surprise you? No, I mean, it seems plausible at this point. Yeah, so think about this. What will surprise you? What headlines in the news will surprise you? I don't think anything will surprise me. I mean, any headlines and I would be like, yeah, seems plausible. And that's the point. The fact that no headline or no news media coverage in this political climate will surprise you is a good indicator of how screwed we are. A special word from our sponsor, Lower Your Standard Firecrackers. Hey, why bother about combating pollution on Diwali? It's not like you care about pollution on the rest of the days anyway. Bus or train se better hai, patake chalao. Okay, so Mr. Roshan, I think I understand the issue about the internet and the bots controlling and swaying elections and deciding who gets in power, but like, what do we do? What do you think we should do about this? It's not that difficult. As kids, we were always told not to believe strangers. Like, it is something that is so ingrained in us. Back then, when technology wasn't around and you needed to know the time or which bus to take, you would ask two different people just to be sure. Accepting chocolates from strangers aside, we wouldn't even take information about time from them without cross-checking. But we're paradoxically very trusting when it comes to the internet for some reason, which is strange. Like, people are more likely to engage in malice if they are anonymous or behind a screen than they are if they are in front of you. So why don't we have the same kind of skepticism and the habit of cross-checking articles and posts and tweets and even WhatsApp forwards? I hate WhatsApp forwards. They're so obviously incorrect. Yeah, but the fact that someone shared it with you and that someone shared with that person and so on only goes on to explain how many people think it's obviously correct and verified and true. Yeah. So yeah, the solution is super easy and something that we have known for a long time. First, don't be an idiot and believe anything on the internet without cross-checking with confirmed verifiable sources because it's something that takes at the most 15 seconds and is free. Yup. Second, understand that all popular opinions are not necessarily the correct or sane or the smart way to go. Yup. WWE wrestling and Kardashian reality TV shows are clear examples of just because something is popular doesn't mean it's an accurate description of reality. Yeah. And third, memes are funny, but understand its impact on your life and don't let memes and, for God's sake, memes mold your ideas, opinions, and sentiments. And know that social media is filled with bots. Don't be naive and fall for them. The same way, no matter how much the internet tells you, you know for a fact that there are no hot single ladies in your neighborhood waiting for you. And that's our show. This show wouldn't be possible without me and not having any plans on a Saturday or a Sunday or throughout the week. So thanks to me and thanks for not inviting me, Prajakta. Also, we are extremely grateful to the cast and crew of Last Week Tonight with Johnny Lever for letting us use their set. Stay tuned after this for our celebrity cooking show Cooking Bad with Chef Ali Khan, where in tonight's episode you will learn how to cook rosemary dosa, brownie medu vada, and nimbu milkshake. Hey, if you like this show, then first of all, what is wrong with you? And second, you would agree that this show was still better with Ritwik on. I have an idea how to fix this. I'm going to be starting a Kickstarter funding, and I need your support. And most importantly, I need your money. So here's the plan. I use the money that we raise, and then I give it to Ritwik as a bribe to join the show. Obviously, Ritwik will say no, because he's a good person. So then we go to his girlfriend and give her the briefcase of money, Mithun Chakrabarti style, and ask her to leave Ritwik. And honestly, do both me and herself a favor. But she won't accept that, and honestly will be a little offended. Because she is an even better person. Don't worry, I already knew that. So then we will go and give the money to my ex-girlfriend's best friend. Because she can break any relationship up. Trust me, you would think that your relationship is so stable and so perfect and that nothing can ever happen to it. You might be so sure that this is just like the best thing ever and it will last like this forever and nothing can break your bond. But when you're suddenly single and you're like, oh, Mashad, what happened? Jesus, what happened? What is going on? So yeah, trust me, guys. She can break any relationship up. We got this. We got this.
Break crazy, crazy.